Well, greetings once again, my friends and my fellow Star Trek fans. I'd like to welcome you to another video, and we're going to go back to the Smithsonian Institute, in particular the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum. Now, recently I did a video of the Klingon D7, the filming model that they also have at the Smithsonian. Well, what I want to show you guys today is something that's really iconic as well, and let me explain to you in the Smithsonian's own words. The Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum has recently accepted into its collection a set of prosthetic ears made for Leonard Nimoy to portray Mr. Spock in the original Star Trek television series. Donated to the museum by Nimoy's son Adam Nimoy, the ears will go on display in the new Kenneth C. Griffin Exploring the Planets gallery opening late next year. The pair of pointed foam ear tips were made for the original Star Trek television series in the late 1960s. Leonard Nimoy brought the prosthetics home as a personal memento, where they were displayed by the family in a handmade black box that was actually made by Leonard Nimoy beginning in 1969. We're delighted that Leonard Nimoy's family chose to donate these iconic artifacts to the Smithsonian. These visitors from around the world will be able to enjoy them and connect with Leonard Nimoy's work, which includes an original 11-foot studio model, among other things, of the Enterprise that we'll be talking about soon. The donation also includes the handmade box the actor created to protect the delicate props. It will be displayed with the ears when the museum opens its series of new galleries in late 2022. Incidentally, today is a special day as well in honor of Leonard Nimoy. Today is March 26th, 2025, and today just happens to be Leonard Nimoy's birthday. So I thought it was very appropriate to share this with you. Getting back to the Smithsonian's writing, those ears have been in our family for over 50 years as a reminder of Dad's outstanding performance as Mr. Spock, and the inspiration and hope that Spock and Star Trek have given to generations of fans all over the planet, said Adam Nimoy. It seems fitting that the ears should now be on display for all to see and experience firsthand. As a further tribute to my father, the ears are being donated on behalf of Beat Tsuva and Leonard Nimoy COPD Research Fund at UCLA, two organizations supported by our family and dedicated to the Vulcan salutation of long life and prosperity. They would go on to say, according to one of the pictures, pictured above are foam pointed ear tips that Leonard Nimoy wore in his role as Mr. Spock in the original 1960s Star Trek TV series, which aired on NBC from 1966 until 1969. Nimoy brought the prosthetics home as a personal memento with his role as a half-human and half-Vulcan science officer on the starship USS Enterprise. Until his death in 2015, the ear tips were displayed in Nimoy's home in a box that he actually made. Donated to the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum by Nimoy's children Adam and Julie and the Nimoy family, they are now on display in the museum's Kenneth C. Griffin Exploring the Planets gallery. Watch a video on the unboxing of the ear tips and read more about them, and view the museum's Enterprise model as well when it comes to the original series. The ear tips were a gift of the Nimoy family in honor of the Beat Tsuva and the Leonard Nimoy COPD Research Fund at UCLA. Is there a more iconic set of ears in science fiction than those of Mr. Spock? The half-human, half-Vulcan science officer first portrayed Leonard Nimoy in Star Trek, the original series, and subsequent films, was known for his shrewd intelligence and cool logic and his pointed ears. we are excited to share that a new prop from Star Trek has joined our collection. A set of Spock ears, tips from Nimoy's personal collection. These ear tips were made for Nimoy to transform into Mr. Spock in the filming of the original series and were taken home from set by the actor, who hand-built a display box to keep them safe. And we are honored that his children Adam and Julie and the Nimoy family have donated his father's keepsake ears to the National Air and Space Museum. When he finished filming the original Star Trek series in 1969, my father brought home a small memento to commemorate his 3 years of dedicated work on the original series. A pair of Vulcan's ears. Adam Nimoy shared with us regarding the donation mounted in a black box. Those ears have been in our family for over 50 years as a tribute to Dad's outstanding performance as Mr. Spock and the inspiration and hope that Star Trek has given generations of fans all over the world. Today it's my honor to donate the iconic Spock ears to the National Air and Space Museum, home to the Starship Enterprise model, where they can be experienced by visitors firsthand. The donation honors Beat Tsuva and the Leonard Nimoy COPD Research Fund at UCLA, two organizations supported by our family and dedicated to the Vulcan salutation of live long and prosper. These authentic Spock ears join another Spock ear tip in the National Air and Space Museum collection, the one on hand made by the Star Trek fan Doug Drexler for use while dressing up as a Vulcan at a fan convention. Its perseverance in our collection represents the passion of the Star Trek fandom and the type of memorabilia sold at the Federation Trading Post retail store in New York City and in California. And we are now thrilled to also have a pair of Spock ear tips from the set of Star Trek, the original series, made for and cherished by the men who first brought the iconic character to life. According to Margaret Wiecamp, curator of the museum's social and cultural history of spaceflight collection, there was concern before Star Trek premiered that people would interpret Mr. Spock's appearance, specifically his pointed ears, as devilish, leading some early NBC publicity photos to round off Spock's ears. Concerns about Spock's seemingly demonic appearance ended when bags of fan mail began arriving from Nimoy from around the country. Spock's cool logic offered a new kind of heroic figure. Thus began with the Boston Globe article dubbed Spock Mania. Several fans in 1967's World Science Fiction Convention in New York dressed as Mr. Spock for a masquerade parade. Some Mariner 5 NASA spacecraft controllers wore paper Vulcan ears while at their consoles, and Nimoy began getting mobbed at appearances. Seeing these ear tips in person as a personal treat for any Star Trek fan, and we were lucky enough to be there when we received the package from Leonard Nimoy's family and unboxed the artifact for the first time. Given the legacy of Leonard Nimoy and the character of Mr. Spock, these ear tips are an excellent addition to our already robust Star Trek collection, helmed by the Star Trek Starship Enterprise Studio model, which will go back on display in the museum's Boeing Milestones of Flight Hall when the gallery's renovations are complete. The ears will go on display in fall of 2022 in the upcoming event, Kenneth C. Griffin Exploring the Planets Gallery. Within the gallery, they serve to illustrate our cultural imagination about possible life on other planets. Until then, we leave you with the everlasting words from Mr. Spock. Live long and prosper.